5th-generation Mazda MX-5 Miata reportedly coming in 2026. The next MX-5 Miata is probably going to have a hybrid powertrain and a sleek new design. Mazda may not be the biggest fish in the automotive industry, but it can't be denied that the MX-5 Miata has reached legendary status. Despite the tiny roadster often being the butt of pop culture jokes, car enthusiasts have always known better. The Mazda MX-5 is one of the best balanced, cost-efficient sports cars ever made. That being said, it's obvious that it would be in the automaker's best interest to keep their fan-favorite cars alive for as long as possible. It appears that Mazda is doing just that according to a report from Which Car, via CarBuzz. Which Car says it was tipped that the next MX-5 would arrive in 2026, and at the moment Mazda is exploring ways to electrify the roadster. Recently Mazda revealed its timeline for making the transition to BEVs by 2030, and part of the plan is to reveal a new hybrid powertrain by 2025. Considering the timing, it seems likely that the next Mazda MX-5 roadster will be a hybrid rather than a BEV. The question is how Mazda will adapt hybrid tech to a small sports car. One of the hallmarks of the MX-5 is its lightweight chassis and weight balance. Can Mazda keep the MX-5 svelte with an electric motor and battery pack? We suppose we will find out in about 4 years. It's not an impossible task by any stretch, but it could be quite difficult. Mazda could explore using lightweight materials such as carbon fiber to save weight, but that will most certainly drive up the price. Affordability is another hallmark of the Mazda MX-5, so the automaker will need to perform quite the balancing act to keep the next roadster light, sporty, and inexpensive. As far as how the next MX-5 will look, the Mazda Vision Study concept that was teased during the automaker's midterm presentation may have provided a hint at its design language. While the Vision Study concept car is a coupe, we imagine that it wouldn't be difficult for Mazda's designers to adapt it into a drop-top quite easily. Will Mazda really do everything they can to keep the spirit of the MX-5 alive? It seems beneficial for them to do so. Though, they did completely give up on the rotary engine despite constant gaslighting that it would live on, so we wouldn't blame you for being skeptical. The next-gen Miata has been slated for arrival in 2026, with an electrified powertrain firmly in the cards, albeit not fully decided upon at this stage. The MX-5 is an icon in the Mazda product lineup, and we have a lot of promise with our current MX-5 owners spread all over the world, so we will continue our MX-5 in the future, Mazda Director and Senior Managing Executive Officer Yasuhiro Aoyama said to Australia's Which Car. That's good news, but some may not be happy to hear that the next-gen MX-5 Miata will arrive after new Euro 7 emissions standards hit. Obviously, that means the Miata's fate depends on its emissions, which is why the next-gen Miata will almost certainly be electrified to some degree. Euro 7 takes effect in July 2025, so that at least gives us a release timeline for the new roadster. Additionally, Which Car states it was tipped the car could come in 2026. That gives Mazda just under 2 years or so to get things squared away before the next Miata hits the streets after Euro 7. However, Aoyama has also said that the Miata will stay as light as it can. That's been the case previously, but the Miata has grown with every generation, the only exception being the current ND, which is smaller and lighter than its immediate NC predecessor. Whatever regulatory changes Euro 7 holds, Aoyama is sure they will affect the little sports car. So the contents of Stage 7 we are still investigating. But it will affect our MX-5 at the time, he said. It will, at the time, be some kind of electrification, so we need to investigate the most appropriate strategy for the future MX-5 which will not betray our passionate fans' expectations, Aoyama continued. Reportedly, Mazda also hinted at the Miata's looks, saying it would be influenced by the recently revealed vision study, pictured above. As for that car, guesses vary from a new RX-7 to the styling mold for the Miata. Regardless, one thing is for sure, the next generation Mazda Miata will be unlike any Miata we've seen to date.